Well, hey there everyone, Drax here, and today's video, it's to celebrate a bit, Sonic Frontier's third anniversary. I'm a bit late, but eh. So I thought to myself, let's see how does this game hold up. The level I'm about to do already did it and things like that, but I'm just gonna play a bit through cyberspace while I talk about how I feel about the game. So, well, since we're already in cyberspace and this is the level you literally start the game with, um, well, I think for first impression it's not bad, but clearly could have done it better. And my few problems, the physics in cyberspace. First, no momentum when you kill an enemy. The homing attack takes a lot of times when you hit an enemy to be reusable again. So yeah, there's that. I feel like the speed, it's not too bad. I think my big problem with the speed in this game, it's the rails. The second level is pretty much that, so it will be easy to show. So this. So yeah, the second level of the game, which is the hardest one to get an S rank. I only recently noticed that it was based off Apodos Act 2, Windmiles Hill. I did not know that until recently because they completely removed curves and it just they just made things not exactly align how it was in Unleashed, which I don't know why. Like, why would you do that? Like, the only thing that gives it away is this moment, I think. The rest, but yeah, what I'm talking about, it's speed on rails. Like, the rails that has been the most nerfed in this game. Like, I think it's one of the worst for rails. But yeah, the fact that it's so like weirdly for those automated section, it's a bit faster than when you have to do things yourself. But come on, like why why is Sonic so slow when it's not automated on the rails, and especially in cyberspace? That's my problem because in the upworlds, open world, and it's open world, not upworlds. Well, it's actually more. Can you focus, please? Hey, buddy, focus. My phone does not want to focus. I hate it. Just focus on the screen, you idiot. But yeah, uh, in the open worlds, you can you can have a bit of momentum in on the rails, like at least a little bit. I don't get it why it's not in there. Like, why is it not in cyberspace? But I'll be honest, the game lost a lot of its content during production. But me, I think, like, come on, I know maybe for the Switch version, you had to remove a few things since the Switch is pretty much an Xbox 360 in power, which for a hybrid console is kind of pathetic. Like, you hardly cut, hardly surpassed a 12-year-old engine. Come on, and I say 12-year-old because that's the age the Xbox had when the Switch came out. Like, come on, bro. Like, I could have get it like a bit better. Not clearly, it could not have reached the heights of the Xbox One since the Xbox One was still recent at that moment. So a hybrid console clearly could not reach that at that moment, but barely surpassing an Xbox 360. Actually, even worse in a lot of points. Because with a friend we tried Sonic Shadow Generation on Switch One, and it runs worse than my on my Xbox 360. I don't know how. Like on Xbox 360, to put it simple, the game runs at 720p, 60 FPS. On the Switch, no matter if it's docked or not, it's 30 FPS. How can you get surpassed by an Xbox 360? Come on. But yeah, I feel like the Switch really hold back the game in some aspect. I just got myself okay. Um. So yeah, that's a bit of my problems. With it, like it got really hold back. Like we've learned that there was a pretty big amount of content that was cut to the game, and also the graphics were completely toned down. Like you compared the original reveal trailer of gameplay compared to final release, there's been a drop down in quality. Like even if you play on computers, you won't get the quality that there was on the reveal trailer. So yeah, what I like about the game, I think the controls are pretty good. Like it takes a while to get used to, but they're pretty good. Like clearly, I don't think it's a. I think it's not as good as the controls from like Unleashed or Generation. But I think with how the game is meant to be played, I think putting the Unleashed control or the Generations control would have hurt the game in my opinion. Like for example, Shadow Generation plays like if you keep the normal controls, it plays like oh dang it, it plays like Sonic Frontiers, and I tried play with the other controls that there was for Shadow Generation, and no, clearly putting the Sonic Generation controls on Shadow Generation, it really did not work. Like, not at all. And the reverse is the same. The controls from Frontier slash Shadow Generation, when you try to put it on Sonic Generation, it really felt weird, and I did not like it at all. Like at least there's something I can give the game a really good credit. It's the fact that yes, there weren't a lot of other ways to do the controls without really being messy. But alright. So yeah, I can give that. There's also the fact I think bringing back combat systems for Sonic games was a really good idea. I felt like it was pretty left out since Unleashed. And you know me, yeah, I love Unleash. So yeah. Oh boy, why did the FPS drop there? Well, at the same time, well, I think I'm just gonna do a post about it. I won't really show it directly on video because it can be hard. But I'm just gonna say, but my Xbox 360 got damaged recently. Let's just say where it's placed, my Xbox 360, it's not really secured because the wire connected to the Wi-Fi router was too short to put it just beside my Xbox 360. Like to do a little comparison real quick. My Xbox 360 is right there. There would have been the place for an Xbox One, like if I would have tossed it to the side completely, but the wire was too short. So instead, the Xbox 360 is pretty much in the air open, and let's just say my cat loves to get on the Xbox One to get on top of one of my desks. And well, one time I couldn't get him out of my room before he got the time to get again on the Xbox One, and it has a hole in it now. So yeah, it's not top shape. So yeah, some problems could happen. So yeah, which I find it pretty annoying. I mean, like, come on, bro. It's a maybe a day one Xbox One. Like my uncle bought it on day one, but it's only been like what 2 years almost that I've had it, and you had to break it, you stupid kid. I mean, at least it wasn't a dog trying to do it. Like if a dog would have tried to do it, oh boy, the console entirely would have been screwed. Dang it, I'm gonna try. This time I'm gonna try to actually do one of my best run. Like at least try to re- redo it. I don't know what damn in solo. What the hell? Okay. Yeah, like I said, the console's gonna have a lot of problems. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna restart. Well, you don't see my hand, so you don't know what button I'm pressing, but let's just say things really don't wanna work. Okay. So yeah, I got my problems. Like I was saying earlier, for well, before I talked about the performance of my Xbox One, well, well, my problem with the combat system in Frontier is that it's really repetitive. Like, yes, the animations look cool, but it's really automated. Like, literally, there's an automatic mode that you can activate things to an upgrade that you just spam X like a dumbass and everything works. And even if you deactivate it, most of the combos are so useless on enemies that all you gotta do most of the time is just, oh, air dash and press A. There you go. Oh, or if the enemy is still able to, well, if the enemy is blocking, well, oh, when you bonk on the enemy, just press the Y button before you hit the ground. You do an automatic side loop. There you go. The enemy is now disarmed, and you can just hit it as much as you want. Like, there's not a lot of options, and that's pretty much my biggest problems. Like, you could say, oh, with Werehog, it's kind of the same with the grabs, where you can almost spam, where you can mainly just use them all the time, and you can get an S rank. First, it's not completely true. I tried that technique, and most of the time I would just get A's, not S. Like, you need to find the balance between. But yeah, you can go pretty easily through the levels with this technique, I won't lie. But at least with the Warhawk, there's more options. Like, you got actual combos that can, like, I don't know, well, crowd control. Like, oh, there's a crowd of enemies surrounding you. Well, you got combos for that. In Frontiers, not really. You can just spam whatever and you can find a way to still win because guess what? Oh, you're starting to run out of rings. Just go a few meters away from the enemy, do a few side loop, and you can get back in the fight. Like, come on, my also that's one of my big problems. Even though it's a pretty cool mechanic for like puzzle solvings and things like that, this side loop is just overpowered and makes the game pretty boring at times. Like, oh, you're out of rings. Just use your little side loop, and that's it. You don't need to worry about any danger whatsoever thanks to side loop, and that's my problem. Like the side loop is just automatic win, pretty much. That's my big problem. There's also the fact that well, if you think the medals in Unleashed are lame and annoying, you gonna think they're perfectly fine after trying to get all memory tokens in Sonic Frontiers because not a single island still had all memory token. I gave up all the time because there's too much of them. Like, there's just too much, and like, there's so many of them that just running around the island a few minutes, you get like 20, but then you realize, oh, there's still like a million left. It's just like, god damn it. There's also the fact that puzzles are puzzles are really lame to go through. Like, come on, bro. Like the puzzles are pretty lame, I think, especially if we go with Final Horizon. Like, I'll be honest, I won't judge you if you like Final Horizon, but me, I think it's a downgrade in every way outside of the fact that you can play multiple character. Like, come on, like the puzzles are worse. The cyber stage is okay. The ideas were pretty good. Execution terrible as fuck. Um, there is also the difficulty, the climbing difficulty that's just freaking insane. The game is glitchier than ever. Like, I think a lot of people, in terms of glitches, they really mainly talk about Switch and PC, and for them that makes you bring the game down. But on Xbox and PlayStation, the game is not that glitchy. Like, most of the glitch that people talks about is mainly Switch One and PC problems due to resolution and things like that that really bugs out the game. But on Xbox One, well, since it's the only version I've played other than the Switch version and the PC version, the Xbox One version is really fine. I think it's the less glitchy version. Like, I think if you compare the Xbox One version to the Switch and PC version, even though the Xbox One version won't run the game at like 120 FPS, or will have ultra super high graphics, at least the game runs good enough and isn't super glitchy. Like me, I say that a game, even if it runs at, I don't know, 30 FPS, or and the graphic are not 4K, I don't freaking care. As long as the game runs good, and that the 30 FPS is consistent, I don't care. Like, me, I say the only reason you would put a game higher than like 60 FPS, it's if it's a really high competitive game that every frame matters. Otherwise, it doesn't. It doesn't. I think Frontier is a good example of it. Since the beginning, this game's been running at 30 FPS. And I bet, except if you're a really hardcore PC gamer, you didn't notice it. Like, I really am in the position that the FPS are not as big of a deal as some PC gamers make it look like it. Like, I feel like PC gamers are just annoying as shit with how they perceive FPS. Like, for them, if it's not at 120 FPS or higher, oh, they start whining. But when you when you show them a 30 FPS gameplay footage of, I don't know, a Sonic, Mario, whatever, I don't know. Well, they won't notice the difference all that much. Like, yes, if you compare 30 FPS to 120 FPS, you will notice a slight difference. Like, you will see that there's a slight difference in smoothness, but in the game itself, when you play it, you won't notice it. Like, it's smooth enough. Like, I don't know why the game is complained so much. Like, yes, it's flawed, it's not the best. But me, what I hate about the game is most of the time different stuff than most people. Like, a lot of people say, oh, it's a story that, oh, Sonic stories are back at it, they're back in full shape. Not me. I think it's some of the worst story that was ever done. Like, I'll be honest, I think that in the 2010s, most characters were better written than they were in Frontiers. Like, yes, Tails, Knuckles are better made in Frontiers than in, like, I don't know, Forces and Generation. But it's just two characters out of every character. Goddamn camera. But yeah, it's just two character, even though they're major character. I don't care if you compare the percentage of great written character to bad written character. I think weirdly games like Generations as the characters more nailed down than anything Ian Flynn has done for the games yet. Like Sage, I'll be honest, I think Infinite is a better written character than Sage. Sage is the most idiotic character I've ever seen in a goddamn Sonic game. Like Sonic clearly says, I don't want to hurt you. I just want to know what the frick happened to my friend. And Sage is like, no, can't share with information with the enemy. And even after you literally stop Knuckles from hitting her, you see her like, why didn't you stop your friend? She immediately says, meh, I still won't share information. Like, buddy, if just tell Sonic why he shouldn't save his friend in your point of view, instead of just saying, oh, you won't understand. You're just a pathetic life and you won't understand. Get out of here. And also say, like, at least Sonic himself in the game kind of sees that Sage is being kind of like stupid for not telling him. Oh, I earned some points. Thank you, Xbox. But yeah, I just find Sage to be stupid, and I really think that Infinite, at least if you go with the main Sonic forces, Infinite's better written than Sage in general. Especially our sacrifice at the end. Freaking useless. She said, oh, I'm gonna stop the explosion, it's gonna reach the Earth. Buddy, you did stop shit. Like, the explosion still happened, meteors still fell on the planet. You didn't do your job, that's it. You sacrificed yourself for nothing, especially that Eggman brought her back. If she would have stayed dead after that, even though I still find it stupid that she died for nothing, at least, I say at least, it would have felt more impactful. The fact that Eggman decided to immediately brought her back, it's just like, bro, then what was the point of her sacrifice? Especially that her sacrifice did nothing. She accomplished nothing, died, and immediately got brought back. Her actions have no impact at all. That's my problem. She has no impact on the game. You could have removed her entirely and just say, oh, the Titans are hostile because of someone controlling them. We don't know who. And at the end of the game, you could have literally just made everyone realize, oh, damn, the the person that's controlling the Titans, it's the voice that is trying to say that Sonic should do this and that, go to cyberspace and things like that to save his friends. But instead, oh, like, even though, yes, it was sure at the beginning I was the bad guy, at least I think it would have been better than just say, oh, it's suddenly the bad guy. Why? Don't know. Because Sage took the spotlight. I think Sage ruined a lot of things in Frontier's story for me. And I really don't like it. Like, at least gameplay wise, I think it's pretty good. Like, cyberspace, I think it's pretty good on its own. Like, there's a lot of shortcuts you can do thanks to the uniqueness of how it plays. But yes, of course, I would say games like well, I'm gonna put like, I don't know, Adventure 2, Adventure 1, and '06, because if you watch my video, you know I'm a huge '06 fan. Why did I do that? I don't know. But yeah, you know I'm a huge '06 fan if you watch my last video. But yeah, there's that. I would also put the Generation games and Unleashed over this game, but I would still say like the gameplay is good enough for me that I don't mind some of the flaws, but yes, flaws does exist in this game. Like, I don't know what's with gamers nowadays not accepting flaws and immediately that there's a flaw, they immediately say that the game is extremely bad. Or some people that, there's a YouTuber I'm just gonna mention right there, the Gaming Rift, him, he hates Frontiers not because the game is bad, no, because his computer is not good enough to run the game. He doesn't want to admit it because he's a PC glazer. Like, yes, I'll admit, PC, especially now with how pricey consoles have gotten, I say it's better to try to buy a PC if you really want to become a true gamer. Buy a PC. Me, I'm staying on console because right now I don't have the PC. I don't win enough money to gain a PC yet, especially that I will need to start saving money to buy a house soon. I'm almost an adult, so yeah. Um, But yeah, he says, "Oh, the game keeps soft locking all the time. It keeps crashing. He keeps getting stuck on things everywhere." I don't really get that problem, buddy. Most of the time, I don't get it that problem, and I'm on Xbox One, so it's purely your computer being booty cheeks and not the game. Except if it's really like that on the PC version of the game, which I'm like, then just don't freaking buy it on PC. That's it. Yeah, except if like I don't know, Adventure Two, the PC port um has mods that removes glitches. Like except if there's that, I don't really see the point buying it on PC. If that's really how it is on PC, that is super glitchy. But otherwise, it's just riffs of being a jackass again, a jerk again. Because yeah, like he's a really big jerk some of the time. Like sometimes I'll agree with some of his takes, but he's a really big jerk. But yeah, some problems with Frontiers Re comes with some specific version of the games like a PC. If you don't have a strong enough PC, it's gonna glitch a lot. Like that's the problem with PC. If you decide to not buy a super strong PC, games will have tends to have way more glitches than consoles. For consoles, the thing is that games are built to be first on console, second on PC. So consoles will run a game with less glitches than a computer at base if you go with the base settings. But yeah, also one of the things about the game, I'd say boss fight. Like boss fights are kind of annoying. Like especially if you go with shark and things like that. They're kind of annoying to go through. Also, yes, as you can tell, this video is not scripted. None of my videos are. I just plan a bit ahead which games and things like that I want to do. Like there's just this I do. I just plan ahead what game I'll play. What I'm gonna say about the game is really personal opinions, and I just go through what goes to my head. But yeah, also, well, but I'd say one thing, what the hell? Where did okay, I don't know what happened to my second jump, or whatever. Well, for me, the game it's not bad. Like it's pretty good. Like I think I put Sonic Frontiers around, I don't know, somewhere between 10th and I think I'll go between 10 and 7th place max. Like 10th lowest and 7th highest score I'm gonna give the game in my ranking of games. If we go only mainline, if we add a spin-offs, it jumps a bit because there's a lot of Sonic Racing games that I really like. Stupid camera. Oh, whatever. I'm just gonna restart. But yeah, yeah, that summons it a bit about a lot of things I had for Frontiers. Um, Now I'm gonna be more talking about the cyberspace. Well, I said Frontiers, but I'm more talking about like what I think about different versions of the game and how people see the game and how I see it. Well, now I'm gonna go with actual opinion, where it's more not opinion based, but more logic based. Like, if you say you hate cyberspace, I won't judge you. I like the game. I like cyberspace. I think it's pretty neat. Maybe not in the levels. It's maybe not as good as like I said earlier, Generations or Friends or Unleashed. But one thing I'm gonna say is that people that whines about reusing levels from the past, um, it is repetitive, but I think it's because of Force's faults, because if we go narratively speaking, it makes sense, and I'm all in for it. Like Sonic, um, having to go through distorted version of his memories, I think it's pretty good. Like, yes, it's kind of similar to Generation, but Generation it was completely new versions of the stages because it was distorted to time and space. But with Frontiers, it's like you got most of the layout that is the same, but the place it takes in, the emptiness of the place, the glitches, the enemies that are in, and some of the section being out of place or removed, I feel like it's pretty good because narrative in the narrative of the story, it makes sense. It makes total sense, and I think the way they were redone, it fits Frontiers pretty well. Although I'm still gonna say it, but yes, some levels are not changed enough. Like I'm gonna accept this reality too. The things are not changed enough in some levels. Like this one, yes, they added more obstacle than in Unleashed, but come on, bro. Like come on, bro. Seriously. Yeah, like Sonic's too slow in this compared to Unleashed. So yeah, there's this. Then I got a hit. Um, Oh, I see the. Yeah, now I noticed that I missed a few red rings. So, oh, I missed one. Well, at least I got a few more. But yeah, lately, like this level in like levels like this where they're not changed enough to be adapted to Frontiers, I think it's pretty lame. Like instead of putting this level, I think they should have just picked another one at this point. Like I think a level that I don't think it's in it that could have maybe worked in with 2D. It's maybe a Rush level. Like I don't think there's any Rush reference in this, which I think is pretty dumb. Like come on, put more reference. If you think the level is weirdly made, it does not fit in Frontiers without being boring compared to the original. Just go check for another game to put in it as reference. Uh, I'll be honest. For this level, I think it's an original level. This one, I'm not sure. Man, whatever. I think I'm gonna stop here because it's quickly for Sonic Frontiers' third anniversary. Well, how does the game hold up so far? I think well, Bound Online is pretty much on the dying slope. Like, yes, some people looks back at the game and say, "Oh, it's beautiful." Like, yes, the game is beautiful. I think it's the well, I'd say it's a tie between Unleashed and Frontiers for me for the games that looks the most beautiful. Like, Frontiers got those lighting and aesthetic, but I feel like the more Pixar-like models and environment for Unleashed is really good. Like the environment themselves, I prefer Unleashed and the models, but Frontiers, due to being more recent, but also finally decided to take a step in for that, decide to really go with a lot of different style that you can put. Like sometimes I just replay the game to go through the open, well, to the islands, just to take photos, just to go to the photo mode and have peaceful moments. Like it's really good. I think that's one of the greatest strengths of Frontiers. You can have such a peaceful moment going through the open zones, and just sometimes opening up the photo mode and trying to get a good angle at the right moments. Like, I think it's just so beautiful sometimes in this game. I think I'm gonna rate the game around a 7 out of 10. It's a 7 out of 10 max. Like, it's pretty good. I think there's more positive than flaws, but I think the flaws are still extremely big. Like, there's not a lot of flaws, but those flaws are huge parts of the game. But the amount of goods, little goods that there are through it, really compensated, and I think it's good to be a 7 out of 10 or 6 out of 10. But yeah, did it hold up to when it was released? Clearly, it's in a better state than when it released because with the free updates. But if we go with when Final Horizon got out to the state of the game now with players and things like that, now that we know more about the game, it could cut down a bit. Like me, I think the Final Horizon idea was pretty good, but I feel like it doesn't need to exist. It's my personal opinion on it. Like if we go Final Horizon alone, yeah, I think it's really bad. And if we go with Frontiers alone, the normal Frontiers alone, it's pretty good. Like I said, 7 out of 10 for the base Frontiers. If we add Final Horizon, I think Final Horizon has so much negative to it that it actually drops down the rate for me and Frontiers overall to a 6 out of 10. But yeah, it's my personal opinion. You can share yours in the comment if you want. I don't mind. But see ya next time.